This is backpack number 16. How to put one of these spinner boxes or drop-down boxes or check boxes, any of these things on the graph. The problem is that the number that drives this spinner box, or the number that's in the cell link that's in this number, comes from a different sheet. It comes from a different sheet. This is an effective way to kind of make a graph. Here's what we got to do. Got to get the developer tab, create an index number. This is what's going to be underneath these drop-down box. Graph the data. Find the format control. Put this little thing in your analysis, and when you get to the format control, go back to you have to go to one sheet and back to the other sheets. Windscreen wiper, windscreen wiper, windscreen wiper. That's the real theme of this backpack number 16. All right. I gotta start over. Okay, we have Amazon, our company, our company, and I want to graph anything on this financial statement, the balance sheet or the income statement, and I want to graph all of these numbers, and I want to make that drop-down box so I can pick EBITDA, revenues, cost of goods sold, and later I would want to pick all our ROICs and anything we want from this. Okay, so I'm going to press Shift F11, make a new graph, and I'm just going to put a row number. And I'm going to look at our Amazon model, and I'm going to notice that, well, our sales really start on line 15, that's the first number, and we'll go all the way down to line 126. So we make a little spinner box. Excuse me, now I can't even find the stupid sheet. Okay, now you have to have the developer tab for this. To get the developer tab, you go to options, you go to customize ribbon, you make sure the developer tab is clicked. Should be obvious. Excuse me. So we type a row number. Let's start with 15. And then we want to just, with this developer tab, do something looks completely worthless. Just change this 15 to 126 just instead of by typing it in, we put the bottom one in and put the top one in. And then we do something that you should never, ever, ever do. Click on this 15, because that needs to have a sheet name. So this just changes the number. You could have typed it in yourself. The usefulness of this is that when we place, I'm going to use the index function right now. Okay, and I'm going to go to the Amazon model, and I'm going to get what's in column D. That's where we get all of our data. And then I'm going to go back and click on this number and press the F4 button. F4, lock it in. And now we can get any kind of the graphs we want. Now I'm going to press Shift right, a few lines down. Oops, maybe one more. Control R right here. No, that was too much. And then we can put our year on the top. Okay, once we get the year on the top, let's make a graph. Okay, now here's the thing. If I want to put this graph on another sheet, F11, to put it on another sheet, I would love to be able to make any graph of any one of these items at all. I'm going to call this my graph sheet. Okay, now to do that, here's the biggest trick. You've got to, if I copied that to the other sheet right now, it wouldn't know where that I'm supposed to look. I'm sorry, if I copied this right now, I'll do it. Yeah, I was going so well. Copy this and paste it. Okay, it doesn't react. It doesn't do anything, because when we right click, it was looking for cell number, whatever that was, in this chart sheet, and there's no number, there's no sheet in this chart sheet. So that didn't work. So what you do instead is you go to your graph sheet. You can do it a different way, obviously, like anything in Excel, but the best way I think to do it is to go to another sheet, not a graph sheet, and then back to this sheet. When you go back and forth to the sheet, it just puts the sheet name in there for you. Okay, and then now we can change this around, copy this, and put this onto the chart. Now, if we also would like to perhaps we would like to make a drop-down box where we look at all those accounts. You go to the Developer tab, you go to Insert, you make a nice little long artistic kind of combo box. This time you go to another sheet anyway and click on the entire column D, because it needs to correspond with the actual row number. But when you put the row number in, if you just did this, it wouldn't work. So you go back and you go to another sheet, back to your old sheet, click on this one, press OK, and then start. Now I know it's not perfect. I'm going to show you how to delete the blank lines in another backpack session. But now you can right click and copy this onto the chart. Now you can find these backpack videos on my new website, okay, and you can find also the associated files, which this one's Corporate Modeling Complete, and that new website, it's kind of just right in development and all that. It'll be in Excel Utilities Backpacks, and I'm going to list all the backpack stuff here. All right, enough.